Oh, and I am live, and this is my MMA news starting from now on the 14th of July 2020. Okay, firstly, Jorge Masvidal has managed to headline and not only just headline but get approximately 1.3 million pay-per-view buys on ESPN Plus. Okay, so Jorge Masvidal on Twitter, he said, "The overwhelming amount of support I have received before, during, and after this journey has been humbling. Still, got a lot of goals to meet. All of you that tuned in to see me win, thank you. Those that tuned to see me lose, thank you." And the reason he's saying thank you is because, let's be honest, he's got 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. So he is definitely going to get a lot of the pay-per-view points, and good for him. So again, according to Mike Coppinger on Twitter, UFC 251, headlined by Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal, generated approximately 1.3 million pay-per-view buys on ESPN Plus. Multiple sources tell the Athletic the debut of Fight Island in Abu Dhabi produced the most UFC pay-per-views since Khabib Conor in 2018. That is saying a lot. Now, Dana White himself, he's talked about this, and he's also even stated that Jorge Masvidal is even a star. He's definitely a star now. He said, basically, "I said it to you guys the other night, when you put on a fight, a successful promotion of an event, it's a big melting pot of different things." He explained that Fight Island was a massive star in this thing. Masvidal is a massive star. Obviously, Usman the champion, and the guy that we're all start to realize is tough to beat, and a great card underneath. He basically also said, when asked the question in the interview uh, about it was a UFC scrum for Wednesday, the 15th of July scrum, and he said, yeah, he's a big star. When he talked about Jorge Masvidal, this article was written in MMAfighting.com. Check it out. Okay, also Dana White, he said as well that in this scrum that he may have to stick with the Apex if in the Apex in August they cannot hold the event. For example, UFC 252, which is headlining Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, then that event will have to be put on Fight Island. He said, "My backup plan would be Fight Island. We might be living here. Anything is possible. If Nevada shuts down and doesn't allow us to do fights in Nevada, yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time in Abu Dhabi. So basically, they could end up there if the Apex closes down in Nevada." Now, according to Colby Covington, he talked about fighting Jorge Masvidal, and his conclusion was basically, this is what he said on the Submission Radio. He said, "I could care less about fighting him. I don't need to fight him to prove my legacy in this organization, and my legacy won't be defined by fighting a journeyman like him. So I could care less if I ever fight him. I am gonna get my rematch with Marty Fake Newsman, and I will hold that undisputed title soon, and anybody can come get it. I take on all comers. I'm not a little bitch like Street Judas. Oh, I don't want to fight him. You know he wants to pick and choose easy fights. Oh, I don't want to fight. Oh, I want to fight Nate Diaz. Oh, I want to fight Damian Maia. Avenge my loss to a effing 40-year-old virgin. So I'm not a little bitch like Street Judas. I'll beat everybody in the world, and I don't need to pick and choose my fight like him. Obviously, Colby Covington likes to talk a lot of trash, so you have to take his answer with a grain of salt. Okay. Now, Anderson Silva, in May 2019, he had the fight with Jared Cannonier. He was injured in that fight on his knee, and he apparently had knee surgery, and he is back to normal now. He's able to train on the knee and use his legs as usual. Let's watch some of his action on his Instagram. This is Jorge Gomares, his Instagram. This is one of his trainers. He's still got it. The only thing that I question now is that does he have the killer instinct to finish fights now? That's the only thing that I'm worried. Should he come back for one more fight? I think he should against Chris Weidman.
God damn.
Okay, that was it. That was very good. Okay, apparently Ariel Helwani was getting a lot of grief on Twitter because he was supporting Leon Edwards' chance to become the next guy to face, well, not face, but face Gilbert Burns to then face Kamaru Usman for the next title fight. And in general, he got a lot of criticism in general for talking about the robbery that Max Holloway got. Or just in general, he talked about MMA journalists who have had problems. And what did he say? Max Holloway replied, and he said a wonderful quote to everybody. He said, just landed in Vegas for another quarantine and was told some guys in the media are receiving threats for saying my fight was not a robbery. This is not okay. I appreciate everyone who wants to ride for me, but that it ain't. Life isn't fair. It's even more unfair for many other people in the world that it will ever be for me. People are unemployed right now with no end in sight, and it's not their fault. It is what it is. Nothing changed for me as a fighter. We proved our point. I still have my 5 belts at home. I'm 28 and healthy. Blessed era continues. Bless yourself. Wow, that is very, very amazing and uplifting by Max Holloway. And apparently Daniel Cormier insinuated that it was Max Holloway was talking about Ariel Helwani. Okay, Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to fight Marlon Chito Vera. He's going to be fighting him in August on the UFC 252 card. And then that is all that I can say at this present time. So it's going to be a good fight, but I'm not sure if he's going to. I think he will win simply because he has all the reach advantage in terms of his, stand up. And Chito is a shorter fighter, although he is very explosive. So we'll see what happens. What do you guys think? Okay, thank you for viewing.